Catherine Berry. What a legend she's been for this program up top.
Yeah, really a dominant force through the years that she's put in for South Carolina. She's already got 8 goals this season. Missouri going to have to be very aware of her threat this afternoon.
And you know she will test this Mizzou defense that is looking for a big performance from Scarlett Thomas. She will have to step up in place of the suspended Rachel Catella.
Talk about a baptism of fire, though, Joey, right? She's not played a single minute for this Mizzou team before being pitched in the other night after Rachel Catella was sent off, and she acquitted herself very well for 65 minutes of that game, but they're going to need a lot from her tonight. The baptism of fire continues.
Third-year head coach Stephanie Golan looking to spark this team. It's been 4 in a row without a W for Mizzou. Though here at home in front of a good crowd, it feels like they could turn that around. Shelly Smith, she's been satisfied with the way her team's been playing as of late. Different story for them. 5 straight unbeaten since losing 2-1 to North Carolina, but they've learned some lessons, and the reigning champs in the SEC are ready to go for their head coach in the 23rd year. Mizzou on the opening tap.
On paper, Joey, of course, you'd think that this game looks like a foregone conclusion. That's the beauty of this game. It never is. And Missouri this season have been in every single game that they've played. They've had some unfortunate moments, some unlucky calls, but the key is they've been in every game. So South Carolina should certainly expect a battle this afternoon, and that's what I imagine they'll get.
Mizzou certainly has had their fair share of quality opponents. 2 of the last 4 have been against top 25 teams, and now 3 of the last 5. That one chased up the line. It ends up out as Simmons put the pressure on the back line. And toss for the Gamecocks. They go in down the sideline looking for Berry. Can't quite spin it out. Ball up in the air. Cameron Dixon gets ahead too. Mizzou prize loose, looking for Simmons outside the box.
Good early possession from Missouri here.
Grace Falla taps one loose. Gamecocks trying to catch him in the press. Shea O'Rourke bursting out. Caught up 2 on the Mizzou end. Slowed up but won't give up. O'Rourke into the box, and that's an easy scoop for Bella Hollenbach. 28 saves, 8 matches for Hollenbach, redshirt sophomore. She is in the slate gray. Her counterpart Hins on the other end in the light blue. Angled up the line. Leah Selm helps it along. Now it's targeted by Simmons for Buells in the box. Hins stays calm and yanks that away from a charging Brianna Buells.
Brianna Buells has been one of the revelations of the season for me this year for Missouri. Coach Gollins showed a lot of faith in her, brought her straight into the team. Her pace up and down the wing and her quality of delivery has been a real threat for Missouri all season. If they can get her wide and get the ball to her, that could be a way that they could hurt South Carolina this afternoon and try to test Hins.
Freshman out of Indianapolis, Indiana. She's been a difference maker off the bench and in the starting lineup. The head of Bella Carrillo gets in the way of that. Buells pries it off the sideline. Tracked down by Haley Torres. Out of the center circle. Bumped here by Mizzou. Grabbed by Selm, looking to feed Buells. Easy take for South Carolina. And 2.5 in what's a mid-season contest that should shape the rest of the way for both of these teams. South Carolina entering play today, unbeaten in SEC play. Big win against LSU for them on Thursday, a point behind Georgia. Mizzou still in striking distance of the top spot in the division. Huge test for them at home. Carrillo, bouncing ball. Shea O'Rourke won it away. Tap back with Berry on the end line. O'Rourke, crossage back. A lot of green grass and cleared coolly over the sideline. Have a look by Simmons to Buells, and that's a thing of beauty into the box.
Yeah, and Simmons being creative as well there. That's another side of her game. But yeah, trying to get Buells free there, and I think that's something that Missouri obviously going to try and work on to pose a threat to South Carolina. As we said, Buells is a real threat with her speed and ability on the ball.
Berry's cross went to the far sideline.
And we saw Scarlett Thomas get her first touch of the ball there just a second ago. That'll be a nice one for her, just a nice simple way to play it out and give her a little bit of confidence here early in the game.
Brianna Boehm in pursuit for South Carolina. She had the winner in the SEC championship game against Alabama last year. South Carolina will earn the game's first corner. Turnage by Berry, and that'll speak to her creativity.
Interesting to see here, Carolina. You'll see that Gracie Fowler is coming up for the corner, number 66. Obviously something they've worked on here.
Holland Torres going to the corner.
Everybody back for Missouri here.
Grad student fires to the top of the 18.
Not a particularly good corner, I don't think.
Frisbeed into the wind. Gets a second crack at it. Looking back stick. O'Rourke had it headed away in front. O'Rourke will stay with it on the edge of the box.
Kylie Simmons doing the defending there, Joey.
And Brianna Buells does the rest.
Yeah.
She's on a bobsled down the right side.
She's 1 versus 5 here. But look at her go.
Oh, just outrunning Bryant. Tries to cross and earns a throw right by the stick.
So she was 1 versus 5, then it was 2 versus 5, but Simmons coming up from the back after doing the defending. Great piece of work by Buells.
And she will just plop it into Milena Fisher off the end line. That stopped by Bryant. And they'll say off Mizzou there. Interesting call. Fisher tumbling, goal kick.
Looked like a corner to me, Joey, but anyway. Good work. Again, Buells, they're getting her into this game early. That's obviously what Coach Golan has said. Let's get the ball to Brianna Buells, see what South Carolina can do defending her. And so far, she's caused them a bit of trouble. So that's an good early sign if you're a Missouri Tiger fan.
This refereeing crew headed by Lorenzo Hernandez, Ryan Cook, and Emily Brownback as the ARs. Doug Wolf is our alternate. 5 in. Scoreless so far. South Carolina's had 1 corner kick. Mizzou, entry denied. And we'll have to chase it back. It's Scarlett Thomas stepping up for Catella today after a controversial red card for Rachel. That's been a bit of a theme for Mizzou this year. Last time they were at home against one of the best teams in the country, Arkansas. Got a controversial PK ruled against them early. That ended up being the difference. 1-0 loss September 28th.
Another nice touch, though, from Thomas, right? She's had 2 or 3 touches now. She's been very calm. Admittedly, Joey, she's not been under much pressure, but it doesn't matter. Just getting her on the ball early with some easy touches, that's going to help. Every little touch she gets on the ball is going to help her this afternoon.
Out of Sterling Heights, Michigan, sophomore Thomas, one of the central defenders for Golan's squad.
And it's also going to be incumbent, of course, on Grace Pettit to help her along here, just being pitched into the middle of that Missouri back 4. She's going to be constantly talking to Thomas, keeping her on her toes. Same for Hollenbach in goal for Missouri. Keep talking to her.
Testing Pettit there. She wanted Catherine Berry just a little high. Bella Hollenbach started the season on the injured list. Her presence returning to the lineup has made a massive difference for a Mizzou team that's faced tons of pressure. The goalkeeping unit for Missouri facing 40 chances that they've had to save this year.
She's been so brave this year too, Joey. I mean, I can already think of 3 or 4 brutal collisions she's had. Just 2 the other night. Absolutely getting clattered by onrushing attackers, and she's got right up. I mean, she is tough as nails.
Could say the same on the other end with Hins, who keeps it on a leash here.
It's part of being a goalkeeper, though, right?
Toughest position out there, say some.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that at all, to be honest with you.
Milena Fisher swinging back through Thomas. Turned by Selm, interrupted by Lily Render.
You can see again Selm trying to release Buells here down this Missouri right. And you can see also Carolina go to a 3 at the back when they're in possession. They're dropping into a 4 when they're without possession. And that's, we've seen Missouri destroy a couple of teams this year who stayed in a 3 at the back. Illinois being the most notable for me, and that didn't change till the second half. By that time the game was gone. So you can also see that Carolina have done their homework as far as that goes.
Intercepted by Fisher at midfield. Buells will drop it back. Mizzou certainly has a tough task scoring against this South Carolina team. They've given up just 7 goals this year, plus 20 goal differential right now for the number 2 team in the SEC East, the number 13 team in the country.
For the first time, the when Thomas got the ball. You did see Carolina press her a little bit. That's for the first time this game. She had 3 players coming onto her. I would have thought that when she gets the ball in certain positions, Carolina will be looking to work her a little bit and see what she's got.
Selman Simmons, little chase, and calmly triangulated through Falla, quarterbacking deep. Pettit runs it down for the Tigers, just pops it up though. Scooped up by an intrepid Catherine Berry. De-escalates to Shea O'Rourke, but the flag's up on the far side. Nothing, 10 minutes in. Gorgeous day at Audrey J. Walton Stadium for the 13th ever meeting between these two sides. Mizzou won the first 3. Since then, a 9-game win streak for South Carolina.
Yeah, obviously Missouri have found it very tough going against South Carolina, as Shirley Smith, the South Carolina coach, has built this program really into a dynasty. Mizzou obviously hoping that they can do something this afternoon and add to that 3. It's going to be a tough task, but so far, I think if you're a Missouri fan with 10 minutes in, they've started well.
A couple of probing efforts that have gotten close to Hins, and they've had the Gamecocks doing a lot of this, dropping it back through their own box. Illy Meadows escorts it loose. Long ball seeking Berry. Pettit got in front. Hard challenge on the sideline and ripped out here. Yang gets it loose, but not loose enough.
Sorry, Joe. It's interesting to me, too, that Coach Golan has opted to start Keegan Good in this game, 26 for Missouri. She has got a great engine. She's a box-to-box midfielder, and I think that the idea behind that is keep having her press, push, get back, defend, get forward. She is a goal threat, as we've seen earlier this season, and it's interesting that she's got the start here today.
Karina Zulo looking to go through the middle. Shot blocked for Brianna Bam.
Great defending from Pettit, wasn't it? It was her weak clearance, but then she was out quickly to block the shot.
Fearless step in after a bit of a mistake. She pressures Berry from behind. South Carolina won't get another look at it. Fisher goes to ground. Cameron Dixon emerges with the ball. Swings to the top of the 18. Step through by Thomas. Buells can't claim. Recycled back through Bryant, fires long, probably wide. Hollenbach, no chances. She gets the sticky stuff on it.
Yeah, Bryant obviously quite happy to have a putt from that distance. If Missouri can keep South Carolina shooting from that distance all afternoon, they'll be more than happy with that. Very comfortable for Hollenbach.
The first 2 shots in this game have come from the Gamecocks. Bryant, the 5'6" sophomore from Stone Mountain, Georgia, gives him another chance right inside the equator. Bella Hollenbach, she's won an SEC Defender of the Week award this fall. It's been solid for a Mizzou team that's faced so much pressure against these highly ranked opponents. Piece back through Meadows. Into the slot machine once again, tapped by Thomas up in the air. And she's the beneficiary of a whistle as O'Rourke closed in. Free kick Missouri outside its own 18.
Getting that ball, long ball through. I don't know if it's just where it ended up or if they're targeting Thomas with the long ball, which drifted overhead. She actually did well to get a foot on it in the end, but was helped out by the flag.
Pettit, once long, that's a good ball.
Yeah.
Swung into the 18, repelled back. Good vision out of the back by Pettit. Mizzou stopped at the gates though. Selm could not break through. The cross came from Bartles. South Carolina won't be able to eject it quite yet. Selm. Oh, good work on a bounce here. Good gets it into the corner. Buells. Great turn. Falla probably impeded. Hins with the gloves.
Just what we were talking about with Brianna Buells, Joey. Good did excellent work there to get the ball to Buells. Bit of very tidy footwork here, you'll see from Buells. Good work from Good. It looks like it's going out. Buells gets there, little bit of footwork, takes the defender just diving in there. Could have been a free kick, still a good delivery. And if Simmons had just been a split second earlier to that near post, that could have been real trouble for South Carolina. But again, signs of life for Missouri for sure, all created by Brianna Buells down this right-hand side.
Yeah, and I wonder if Buells went down there, if there might have been a whistle. It goes back to that
surely would have been. Yeah.
Question that we have heard.
Yeah.
Stephanie Golan. telling us earlier this week, hey, somebody else has to step up to help Kylie Simmons, and we're just wondering who it's going to be. She's got faith in a lot of these players to supercharge the offense, and Brianna Buell puts them in position there. A glimpse of the future for Stephanie and her team.
I've been impressed with every game I've seen from Brianna Buell, and like you said, Coach Golan obviously pitched her right in as soon as she joined the team, and she's been very good so far this afternoon. She's causing South Carolina some real problems, but now here come Carolina.
Berry sweeping ahead for Zulio, and it ends up outside the end line.
Good work again by Pettit, though, wasn't it? She's been so busy already, as you'd probably expect in this matchup. But look, she's 10 yards behind, still makes up the ground to put it out for a corner. Excellent piece of defending.
Needed her to step up there as Karina Zulo, senior out of Flemington, New Jersey, continues to give Mizzou problems. Down the right attacking side, this is Torres. Second corner of the game, kept it near post off of Pettit, and she bulldozes it loose.
Yeah.
Picked up by Dixon.
Fired in with that left foot low and hard. Wasn't particularly well dealt with, but Missouri going to get away with this, I think, and they do.
The second phase was high and off target. Here comes Buell on the sideline, forcing Bryant to keep it in.
The pace is amazing. And because I think of her gait and her long legs, she just doesn't look like she's moving. And then suddenly you're like, wow, she is fast, and she's causing Carolina some problems.
Picked up by Bryant. Passes by Buell as Berry tries to turn it.
It's good work from Thomas there. She's been good so far.
Prevented the through ball intended for Shea O'Rourke. Leah Selm through the recycling plant. Thomas loses it in the center circle. Poked by Berry, wants it back. Thomas thwarts outside Yang. Distribution down the left side through Bartles. Simmons posts up, little no look. And Bartles refeeds middle cell.
Just seeing creative, how creative Kylie Simmons can be. Not only is she a goal scorer, super creative as well.
Buell's from the flank. Soars that for Kylie. So strong with the ball. Finds a friend outside. Bartles swinging. Wanted Buell's. At the elbow of the box, perhaps. Oh, how about this from distance? How about that from Hins? Heather Hins killing chances like they're doing the Grimace Shake Challenge.
Melena Fisher with the shot there, Joey. The ball came out to her. She's got such great technique, perfect connection with it. Good save, good solid save. Closest we've come to a goal off the right foot of Melena Fisher. Good save, Missouri very close, and it all stemmed from the excellent, strong work of Kylie Simmons on the edge of the box that led to that chance for Fisher. Good strike. It's a save you'd expect Hins to make, and she did.
And here's Fisher with that right foot on the first corner for Mizzou. Has a friend back post. Couple of chances, but South Carolina stepping through. Selm had it briefly. How about this from Good? Blocked at the spot by Falla. Battle for it at the top of the 18 and stymied by South Carolina.
Carolina, a bit of desperate defending there a couple of times. They didn't look very composed there at all. And Missouri closest so far to taking the lead in this game, and here they come again, and that's going to break down.
Bella Carrillo wanted Good in transition. You're right, though, Simon. Mizzou has had the edge in this game over a top 15 team in South Carolina.
I would say you're absolutely right. Where are we? Nearly 20 minutes in here, and they have been slightly the better team, but certainly with the better chances. Buell's creating problems that we've talked about. Kylie Simmons with her work on the edge of the box there, leading to the shot from Fisher, which was beautifully struck, and then the follow-up shot from Keegan Good, which looked on target till it was blocked. But Carolina didn't deal with that attack particularly convincingly.
The garnet and black holding in the box against the white and gold of Mizzou. Long ball. They want Berry turning against Pettit. Secret Service defense. Berry ends up on the grass. Ball ends up with Mizzou. Fired out by Carrillo. Blocked on the way out by Torres.
Interesting, a couple of times, 2-3 times now. Carolina just mixing it up with that long ball, trying to get the Mizzou defenders on the turn. Again, though, Missouri equal to it at the back.
Missouri team that fell 2-1 against Ole Miss earlier this week looked great at the outset of that game.
They dominated that game for the first 25 minutes. Yep.
Catella ejected, changed everything. This ends up with O'Rourke in the crow's nest, swarmed by white and gold, turned it perhaps the wrong way.
Yep. Mizzou
thankful for that. Out and moving through Simmons and Bartles. Sluiced in the middle. Selm perhaps escorted down to the grass, or did some escorting down to the grass. She's whistled for the foul. Selm thought she should be the beneficiary. It goes the other way.
So did the home crowd. You probably hear.
And this home crowd has been...
Look, 50-50 at best to me, that, Joey. Let's see again. Selm getting caught there. Could have gone either way, really, to be honest. Or the ref could have let it go.
Did not ultimately want to. This crowd has been treated this weekend to a great couple of days of Mizzou athletics football yesterday. Some of the football players in attendance signing autographs before today's game. Everybody booing as Kyler Zoloff went down. Mizzou going downfield.
Simmons on her own, Joey.
Out of the left flank. Simmons trying to maybe just find something near post. Nobody was with her.
That's a player, though, high on confidence, though, isn't it, really? She's going to take a pop on her left foot from wide in the box. Yeah, that's a player who is high on confidence.
Mizzou volleyball, they've had a tremendous weekend. South Carolina, they visited Mizzou volleyball last time you and I were together, Simon, a couple of weeks ago. The Gamecocks women's soccer in town now today at Audrey J. Walton Stadium, where we've gotten a good measure of this game so far, 20 minutes deep. Mizzou keeping that pressure up. Stephanie has been clear she wants to really emphasize the press for this team. And how do you think that's worked this season, Simon?
It's worked at times, Joey. I mean, there have been times where it has worked very well. Now, that was in some of the earlier games this season. Once they've come up against SEC opposition, it's a whole different battle, isn't it? And some of the SEC teams have worked it out, have played through their lines pretty well. And once they're through the lines on the press, you're in trouble. However, having said that, Missouri, as we said earlier, have been in every single game. And it's when you're playing a high press, it's knowing when to go and when to hold, right? That's what it's all about. And it's what you do when you don't have the ball as well. So it's all part of the mix. So far, this afternoon, it's been good for Missouri. They've been, as you just mentioned before, slightly the better team.
After a Zoloff foul, Pettit launches to the top of the 18, brought down by Simmons. Swished away from her. Carrillo wanted a second chance to appear. It's off of Zoloff. Mizzou, though, will take the throw. Bella Carrillo, sophomore out of Frisco, Texas. Leaves it for Buells. Plop down for Selm. Back toward Brianna. Clearance up the line. Deflected by Selm. South Carolina will take it over. The second substitution of this game for South Carolina. Reagan Schubach had the only goal of the game against LSU. Unbelievable, really, game winner.
Yeah, it was a cracking goal, wasn't it? She took the ball to the right of the goal, and she was at an angle. There was only one place she could really put it, and she put it there for their winning goal the other night. Now, she's into the game here. She's an imposing figure, really, and it's going to be interesting to see if they try to match her up on Thomas. Right now, that's not where they've got her, but now she's moved across in front of Thomas, so obviously trying to disrupt Missouri a little bit at the back, because South Carolina have to get the ball to her before she can cause any of that those problems, the kind of problems that Kylie Simmons has been posing already this afternoon for the Gamecocks.
Hannah Joella into the game for Mizzou, one of 7 honored today on Senior Day in Columbia. Mizzou marching forward for a throw. And Tigers 2-2-1 at home this season. 5-5-2 overall. It feels like an inflection point for 2023, playing well right now against a number 13 South Carolina team that's lost just once in its first 14 games. 3 wins, 2 draws so far in the Southeastern Conference. They find themselves just a point off. The lead set by Georgia. Crossage once again will start with a throw.
Really, though, Missouri need to win this game if they're going to make the tournament, which is really what Stephanie Golan's target was this year. Well, let's make the SEC tournament. It's been a while since we've been there. That's where we want to be. but things have got to start going their way. They've got to start helping out Kylie Simmons with the goals, and they've got to be a bit more composed when they're in the lead.
Leah Selm shown to the floor and doing some showing as well. If she's whistled for the foul once again, South Carolina will take it the other way. For Stephanie Golan, that's really been that point where she's gotten teams to make a leap. Third year at Army, at Minnesota. Those were big years for her when she was with those programs. Trying to find a way to supercharge this Mizzou team that's shown signs of turning things around. Takeaway at the midway stripe by Zulo. Berry lays claim. Heavy pressure off the left side. Who wants it? Yang says I will over Thomas. South Carolina back into the center circle. Torres using Fala.
Some good possession here from South Carolina. Some of the best we've seen from them so far in the game, actually.
Berry and Render used Dixon back. Floated to the top of the 18. Thomas hesitated slightly, got ahead. And Carrillo. Good read by Selm. Good to Buells. Brianna with the left foot had that tipped on the way in, and Hims able to get to it before it can drift out.
Again, Missouri getting the ball to Buells. This time she cuts inside onto her left. Good run from Good. And then here's Buells. Rather than going outside onto her right here, she cuts inside onto her left. Just didn't quite get hold of it the way she'd want to. And the deflection, of course, guided it back to the South Carolina keeper, Hims. No problem for her.
She's given Bryant some problems.
Yep, she certainly has.
Out wide, Torres had to help out with that deflection. Bryant with the ball, half hatchet. Drop back to her through Zuloff. Less than 20 first half. South Carolina under Shelly Smith in her 23rd year, pursuing a third SEC championship in the last 5 years. 2019-2022 champs. Mizzou has given them all they can handle so far. Good to a loose ball.
And that's exactly why Keegan Good's out there picking up all the scraps, any loose balls. That's what she's there for, to do that job. Pick up those loose balls, keep possession for her team, or win possession back for her team.
Simmons in front of a host of subs, got it to Selm, wanted to snake forward for Buells.
She tried probably the more difficult ball, probably should have just played it square and wide and let Missouri build from the back there. Missouri have to be careful that she was forcing it a little bit there, not to force it. They're still doing well. Game still goalless, no need to force the game at the moment.
Zulo, the last to touch that, it gets out of bounds. Shelly Smith's team, what a run that they've been on. And for Smith, I mean, she really feels and sees this as a family that she's built at South Carolina. Third decade as the head coach. That family is pretty extensive.
Yeah, and extensive and close-knit, even over all those years. She said that, of course, she's coaching with her husband, who's the co-coach, and then she sees players come back, alumni every year, and that's the real feel she gets for her program and all the players she's coached over the years.
I mean, to do what she's done, there are coaches that stick around, and then there are coaches who really stick around.
Yeah.
And Shelly Smith, at this point, I mean, you would almost say, what would be the point in leaving? You've built a top-ranked program. It certainly is something that means so much to her. And the Gamecocks have really become a powerhouse that is a threat to win the SEC every single year.
Absolutely right, but at the moment, I'd say of the two coaches, she might be the slightly more concerned.
Stephanie, I'm sure, loves what she sees so far from her Mizzou team. Shelly on the other side, maybe not expecting this kind of start for the Gamecocks. Dump down for Berry. Easy evacuation for Thomas.
Thomas has been excellent so far, and we're now approaching, what, half an hour in this game, and so far she's done very well.
And Scarlett having to step up with Catella, not active today, but was here for the senior day ceremonies. That's in the corner with Megan Spees in a helicopter. Yang gets the head to. Deflects up top to one of the substitutes, Mallory McGuire. No exit for Fisher. Spees had it taken away. Fisher, a bit of open real estate here.
Good play from Missouri here, good possession. They're going to be patient here. Don't try and force it like they did, I thought, a few minutes ago. Just keep possession. See if they can create something. Move South Carolina around a little bit. Move them from side to side if you can.
Fisher targeting McGuire. Top of the 18. Poke back through Fisher. Try to swirl it in after getting that pass from Elena Zukowski. A bouncing ball scooped by Sell. Wanted a runner down the side. Barry happy to take advantage of her hesitation. Bryant is short through Zuloff. Still scoreless. South Carolina and Mizzou, both teams trying to win it in the build-up. You'd have to think that style favors South Carolina just based on the results so far this season a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Mizzou, with the way that they played today, the confidence with which they've possessed the ball, might put more pressure on Hims. Off the right side again. Zulo, not a lot of room.
Now Buell is out. Mallory McGuire taking up that spot on the right. We'll see what she can do. Hannah Joella in on the left, wearing the big heavy knee brace. Suffered a bad knee injury.
Today honored as part of the list of seniors able to battle back and be out here for a special one for this group that just preceded head coach Stephanie Golan. Render into the head of Pettit. Scooped up by Joella, Yang, and Pettit. Off the sideline, Mizzou. And Torres stepped through that with ease. Didn't get the pass she wanted to Schubach. Made it difficult for Thomas. Mizzou down the left bowling alley. Finds it clogged quick. Zuloff loses it off the foot. And clever from Barry. Swarmed by Tigers. Will she have enough room for the cross? Yes, she does, but the ball ends up on the roof of the goal. Goal kick, Mizzou. 0-0 here in Columbia with just 13 left in the first half. Great weekend of SEC soccer, and this is next week's featured SEC soccer matchup. Thursday, all eyes will be on number 6 Arkansas hosting Florida at Razorback Field in Fayetteville. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 6 Central over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Great matchup. Simon, who do you like in that one?
Well, you'd have to say Arkansas, wouldn't you, really? I think, in that particular game, for sure. Well coached. They've looked really good this year. Stephanie Golan was very complimentary towards them in their game when they played Missouri earlier this year. They look like a really tight operation to me this year.
They have been one of the best in the country.
Yep.
Of course, that Florida team historically has done so well. Razorbacks and Gators on Thursday, SEC Network and the ESPN app.
In Missouri, of course, their one SEC win so far this season was against Florida. In Florida, it was a bit of a 3-2 thriller.
And Mizzou played well against that Arkansas team.
They did.
Here as well, a little over 10 days ago. That was a solid performance from Mizzou. A controversial call gave Arkansas a penalty kick early. That's been kind of a story of the season for Mizzou.
Yeah.
Still, though, I think for Stephanie and her staff, I mean, it's a good indication that they can compete with the best. And for this team that's so heavy on underclassmen, has the youngest roster in terms of contribution in the SEC, I mean, that was probably overall a chance to grow a little confidence. Pettit confident here against Zuloff. Prop planes it up the sideline, and Missouri earns the throw.
I mean, Missouri still have a good chance this season, but certainly it'll stand them in good stead for next season. The experience that they've gained, the tough games you get, one after another in the SEC, where at times they've been, what, 5 SEC teams in the top 25 at one time. I mean, that's the kind of teams that you're coming up against. And a lot of the rest of them hovering just outside.
Ooh, talk about hovering just outside there. Mizzou will give South Carolina a goal kick here, but what a great pursuit there by Jessica Larson in deep. 4/5 of the goals this year have been scored by underclassmen. Obviously, Kylie Simmons is the chief protagonist there. Somebody else has to step up, but these players have the time to step up because of where they're at in their careers.
Yeah, and if you look at that, 82% of the goal scoring from underclassmen. The next highest was Alabama there at 62. So that goes back to what I was saying about, you would think that this would have this team setting up really well for next season and a couple of seasons after, for that matter.
Have set up well today against South Carolina. Spies testing it. Pettit rips it back away from Berry.
That's well held up. It's got to be a foul.
On the Tiger logo. Meadows pile driving Larson onto the grass, and Mizzou will set up for another free kick. They've been dangerous from about midfield.
Meadows did not like the call at all, but that's a foul all day long, Joey. Am I just seeing something differently? And now the ref's going to have a... He didn't like the toe back there. Was I wrong there, Joey? That looked like a foul all day long.
Agree with you 100%, Simon.
Okay.
And not just because I'm contractually obligated to. I think you're dead on. Lorenzo Hernandez making the call.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the complaint was there, but a chance for Missouri to get it into the box here.
Here's Thomas. Long ball, found a head. That was McGuire, but it drifts out of bounds. Goal kick coming for South Carolina. Final 10 minutes of the first half. We've got the top 5 goals of the week in the NCAA, plus a look at the SEC schedule today and through the week. Stick with us at halftime here on SEC Network Plus.
And as the kids say, Joey, there are some bangers coming up in that top 5 goal review.
Bangers and mash.
One of my favorites.
I knew that about you, Simon.
I know you did.
It's new face here. Anna Di Maria on the field for Mizzou, with Hannah Joella going back to the bench. Could you give them a tip for all of the youngsters back in the control room who don't know bangers and mash?
Bangers and mash is a...
Ooh, McGuire almost mashing that away from Hins.
Lovely British traditional dish with proper sausages, not the little tiny hard link type, and mashed potatoes made from real potatoes, Joey, so you've got, you know, your little bits of potato in there too, not just horrible instant stuff.
Ooh, that's some instant mashed potato under the boot of Pettit. The shot by Berry, stopped by Hollenbach. Goes down to the green stuff to claim it. Hollenbach pulls it back.
Grace Pettit, who usually is so reliable, just let it slip under her foot. Probably was looking for the pass before she had possession. And Bella Hollenbach, in the end, did well to get over to that. She probably wasn't expecting it with somebody as reliable as Pettit on the ball and then letting it slip away.
Almost flawless game by Pettit, interrupted by that. Now Berry fed by Bryant, sharing the love. Good anticipation by Yang. Tipped out of the box. Juggled down well by Spies. Wanted Berry. And pop back up top will give Mizzou some breathing room.
That's a good ball.
And crowbarred out of the back for Larson. Not able to catch up to that. On the sideline, just slipped by McGuire. Di Maria into this game for Mizzou. She is trying to provide some punch for a Mizzou team that got going out of the back there. And courtesy of Bartles, that one tipped up and out, and it'll keep coming forward with Mizzou. McGuire had it pop back, falls on the sideline, bounced loose by Spies. Berry calmly lays claim. It's actually Olivia Schianelli who had that long ball out of the back for McGuire. She's in the middle of the field for Mizzou, and she's receiving this pass right here. Schianelli tapping forward, wanting Selm. Schianelli again. Excellent effort. Has Zukowski, wants McGuire. Bryant in the area to cut it off.
Pass wasn't quite right, was it, in the end? It was the right idea, just too much on it. That's not a bad cross.
McGuire found a friend at the top of the 18, out through Schianelli. Toe pokes it back into the 18, swarmed by Meadows. Launch out of the South Carolina bench.
See Missouri just straining to try to get a clean touch, clean bit of control to try and work a shooting opportunity, and just were not able to do it. But still, I would say on the balance of play, we're 40 minutes in now to this first half, that Missouri are just edging this contest so far.
Nicole Eisen, another senior, actually a grad student, one of 7 honored on senior day, into the game here. Stephanie and the staff giving these seniors a chance to come out in front of the crowd at Audrey J. Walton Stadium, where we are just over 5 minutes from halftime. Eisen out of Marietta, Georgia, gets the chance, and now Kinley Brown, who is from just down the street in St. Charles, Missouri, a little over an hour from Columbia. She comes into the game for South Carolina. Schianelli provided a spark here. A square roll for Carrillo. Entry finds a target. Turn to the top of the 6. Hins, no choice. Dives out on the Eisen pass at the elbow. Hins will take the time here. South Carolina has been really deliberate moving out of the back. 4 shots for Mizzou. South Carolina at 3. Just 2 fouls each team, 3 total corners. South Carolina slight edge in that category. Even matchup. We stay 0-0 in a game that could reshape the contours of the SEC race. South Carolina keeps coming forward on shoebox run. Autumn Kaeli into the game. Catherine Berry going to get a break. One of the all-time leading scorers in South Carolina history. She's played well, but Mizzou, especially Grace Pettit, has done a good job to keep her relatively quiet today. They target Kaeli, the freshman out of Andersonville, South Carolina, on the throw. And toss is going to come from Reagan Schubach, the hero against LSU, right to the foot of Pettit. Bop toward the sideline. Pulled out by Mizzou. Eisen.
That's a good ball.
Larson sets it up with Carrillo off a tee.
It's a little aimless, that was it in the end.
Took a skip on the chalk and gets out. South Carolina throw in its end. They have dominated this recent run against Mizzou for sure. South Carolina, I mean, they have won 9 in a row against this Tigers team that probably years past looked a lot different than what they've gotten today. South Carolina has been good for more than 2 goals a game this season against everybody, about 2 goals a game usually against Mizzou.
And let's face it, so far, the closest we've come to a goal was the shot from Fisher, wasn't it, really?
It sure was. Great diving effort there by Hims. Different kind of diving effort by Scarlett Thomas, sending Schubach down.
Crucial moment in the game here, 2.5 minutes until halftime. Can South Carolina get one? Obviously, if you're Missouri coach Golan, you want to at least take this clean sheet into halftime.
Dixon's pass stolen away by Selm. Mizzou transition. Di Maria tapped it back, sent forward for Eisen, runs down the sideline. And South Carolina holds. Dixon holding off Eisen, and the throw will come for the Gamecocks. Really big stand for Mizzou against the South Carolina free kick. It's Meadows who won that ball on the sideline. He scoots it forward through Render. They mount the attack down the right side. Missed touch. Shinelli all over it. Takes it away from Kaeli. Mizzou switching the ball off the sideline has been more than serviceable today. Ooh, great touch in the middle.
Yeah, really nice touch, wasn't it?
Zakowski
Should get it back.
didn't put her on skates, put her on rollerblades though at least. Forward comes Larson with Eisen. Falla gets the grass stain, gets the ball. South Carolina, will they push the envelope in this scoreless affair as we get down to a minute?
I would think that they'll just be happy to hang on to the ball for as long as they can here. Get in at halftime, get the instructions from Coach Smith, see if she moves anything around, tries anything different tactically for the second half, because so far they have been largely stifled by this Missouri press, the midfield and the defense. And again, as we said, Missouri have had probably the best opportunity with the shot from Fisher earlier on, which went very close to just sneaking under the crossbar. And here comes Missouri again with just over 30 seconds left in the half.
They keep it in the bag.
Yeah, they'll be happy to go in scoreless too.
Yeah, we will see if Shelley Smith and her associate head coach and husband Jamie Smith make any changes at halftime. Stephanie Golan and Andy Stutz, see if they will adjust for Mizzou, but they've got to be happy with how it's gone so far. Final 10 seconds, a little pop over the top, and Larson had it go out, then had a player flip over. Falla went down right around the sand pit, and that should take us down to the horn. Nothing at half. Mizzou trying to score an upset today against number 13 South Carolina, and off to a really good start. Missouri, as you said, Simon, had the best chance in the game. Melena Fisher about halfway through the first cranked a ball that Hins had to tap over the bar. Though South Carolina's got its runs, they haven't had a clean look at goal, and that's tough to do with threats like Catherine Berry on the side of the Garnet and Black. 0-0 is hard-earned for Mizzou. This is going to be an interesting second. Stick around with us. SEC Soccer on the SEC.
Remember space and leg room? That's more like it. The 3-row Lexus TX.
Aren't you glad you got the titanium iPhone 15 Pro at T-Mobile?
I am glad.
Did I see that?
At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium on us now and the freedom to upgrade every year.
Am I gonna get that back? Nope.
Live from Columbia, Missouri, Mizzou and number 13 South Carolina tied 0-0 at halftime. It's been an intriguing matchup so far. One of the best I think we've seen Mizzou play so far this year. Joey Santaboni alongside Simon Rose. Simon, what are your thoughts overall in this first half?
Well, you're exactly right. It's been very intriguing. I think Missouri have been excellent, well coached. They were ready for this game. They've had the best chance with the shot from Fisher, and they have stifled South Carolina's attack so far. It is very delicately balanced, but at the moment, you'd have to say Missouri is slightly the better team.
A fascinating start to this game, and it's been a fascinating start to the season in the SEC. Vanderbilt, how about this? They scored 6 at home against Texas A&M. What an outpouring from the Commodores.
Yeah, you know, Vanderbilt every year surprise me. They're very well coached by head coach Darren Ambrose, but sticking in 6 at home, as you can see there, their highest score since 2000. That says a lot, doesn't it?
And Kentucky, they're bringing home ties like me when I was working at Men's Warehouse. They are unbeaten this year, and yet somehow they are 5th in the SEC East.
Yeah. With all those draws, of course, now there's no overtime anymore. And it's amazing, isn't it? They're undefeated and yet fifth, like you said. And it kind of raises your eyebrows when you look at it.
Yeah, Arkansas, they are 6th in the nation, and they had to battle to get to that mark, 2-1, battling back against Georgia, which is leading the SEC East right now. Do you think that Arkansas team is a threat to win the national championship?
I don't know about that, Joey. That's a big shout, but they are very, very hard to beat. So, I mean, when you say that, it's going to take a lot for somebody to get by them, but I think there are better teams than Arkansas if you look at the national championship right now anyway.
Unbeaten in their last 28 at home. Florida and Georgia right now, a nothing affair. It's Vanderbilt and Kentucky.
Kentucky winning.
And those Wildcats, number 18 on this season, in good position to snap this streak of ties. Tennessee and LSU. Number 19, Alabama, Texas A&M. Arkansas against Auburn. Ole Miss against Mississippi State. Anything about Arkansas and Ole Miss? Do you think Ole Miss has any chance there, Simon?
I think they have a chance, sure, Joey, but, you know, as we just said, Arkansas are so hard to beat. You'd have to pick them in that game later on. A
great week in the SEC and around the country. We're going to show you the top 5 goals in the NCAA when we come back. Mizzou hosting South Carolina. This is Senior Day from Audrey J. Walton Stadium on SEC Network Plus.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX. 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
Aren't you glad you got the titanium iPhone 15 Pro at T-Mobile?
I am glad.
Did I see that?
At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium on us now and the freedom to upgrade every year.
Am I gonna get that back? Nope.
Thanks everyone, especially Vicky. She saved us enough to help us open our 2nd location.
Auto Owners offers discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance because they think the more you protect, the more you should save. That's simple human sense.
SEC Network Plus Soccer. Young Chris Pratt riding Raptors out here in Columbia, Missouri. Youngster fell early. The other one, it's a merciless sport, isn't it, Simon?
It's
dinosaur
absolutely,
racing?
Yep. I did a bit of that in my day because I am a dinosaur and it is merciless.
Well, as long as you're riding the Raptors and not the Stegosauruses, I'm sure you were very successful. These were very successful goals around the NCAA this week. And for me, this first one's all about the assist.
It is all about the assist. It's Elise Evans who gets the goal, but Jasmine Ike with the back heel. It is all about the assist, Joey. You're absolutely right. Fantastic goal. Look at that. Beautiful little assist. And on comes Evans to finish it off. Gave it the finish the assist deserved for Stanford.
Highlight moment for the Cardinal, staying in the red family. GBR. Eleanor Dale versus Rutgers. Watch this. Curl me home. Into the side shelf. Dale strikes from 15 yards away. And that's perfect placement for a Nebraska team that's found some great moments this year.
Yeah, and coming up with number 3, we're seeing some really interesting technique on a lot of these shots. You saw it there. This is Ali Sentner for North Carolina. Goes across to her left, then comes back on her left foot. Hardly any backlift, though. Almost like a golf shot, a wedge shot, I think. Right into the top corner. Beauty.
Sentner a strike in that battle for North Carolina Tar Heels. They were good at 3. At number 2, we've got the orange. The Q's, Aaron Fleury, breaking things open like a McFlurry machine after 11 p.m. Fires that from way, way out, 30 yards deep to power the orange. One of the best, I think, this season. Does number 1 eclipse it for the best in the NCAA, though?
I think it eclipses it probably just because if you look here, Kylie Olsen's goal here for Utah State comes in the 90th minute, and it's a beautiful strike. But still, number 4 gets it for me, or number 2, I should say, gets it for me.
Fleury takes the broadcaster's choice,
Yeah,
but that Utah State, Colorado State game, you really can't beat the view at that stadium.
What a view. I mean, if we were doing top 5 stadium panoramas, that's got to be one of them, right?
I mean, for myself, I like that Eleanor Dale strike from Nebraska. Can you go ahead and give us the Simon Rose seal of approval on one?
I would say Fleury's probably. I love the way it curled right into the top corner. That was the one for me. That was number 2.
I bet you that Kylie Simmons can find a way to get on that best goals of the week for this week. She and Mizzou trying to upset number 13 South Carolina. Nothing.